Good morning, Mystical Misfits. It's that time of morning again, 7 o'clock Central Time, doing this Monday through Friday, and Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9, so I'll be back at 9 o'clock this evening. Let me just get my Facebook page fired up here. Hope you're fired up. 7 o'clock is a good time for doing meditation, I think, because it's the front of the day, and whenever I say, oh, I'll just get around to that later, later seems to rarely come. So good to have you with us. I see a number of you online already, and today we're at principle 9 of my top 10 principles for discerning that still small voice. And if you want to see the others, just go back to the previous videos there. So number 9 is asking what Jesus would do, or what would Jesus do, that WWJD. It doesn't get us very far. God is concerned about what you should be doing, not Jesus. While God will not call you into un-Christ-like action, the mere fact that Christ did something long ago does not mean that God is necessarily calling you to do the same thing. For instance, don't go feeding the poor just because Jesus did. Do something you sense God calling you to do. If you sense God calling you to do it, and if it does not contradict Christ-like behavior. So Christ is definitely our measure, our standard by which we probably our best discernment in terms of does this fit something Jesus would want, and so that's helpful. But just simply mimicking him is not very, very helpful. Hey, Carla and Jill and Deb. Joan, good to see you on. Good morning to you, back to you. And Pat, good to see you too. So the key is to follow your sense of call and do that which brings you alive in this world. There are a couple of ways to kind of bisect that. One is Howard Thurman said, don't ask what the world needs. Don't ask what the world needs when discerning what to do. Rather, ask what brings you most fully alive, because what the world needs is more people who are fully alive. Frederick Buechner said it a little bit differently. It's your call lies where your great need and the world's great pain intersect. And that says something, too, that neither one has the full truth, but they both point to something that's profound, I think. And the key is it needs to be something that you have energy to do and to keep doing over and over again. Most of the time when we follow a path that's truly a spiritual calling, it gets difficult. Otherwise we'd be all on our spiritual path, right? There's a lot of resistance. In the Bible, the great metaphor, one of the great metaphors for God speaking to the world is thunder and lightning. And I think that's a great, hey Renee, great metaphor for how when God's word comes into the world, it meets resistance instantly. It shakes things up. And sorry, I've got a little sore throat, so the path gets hard, and unless you are pretty personally invested in that path, at the first sign of, or second sign, or the third sign of trouble, you're going to move off of it. So the key is to to follow a sense of call that you gain something personally enough in terms of soul fulfillment. I'm not speaking about worldly success. That you're committed to it, and to also not feel guilty then saying no when other people persistently and consistently ask you to do things that are outside of your sphere that brings you alive. If it doesn't bring you alive, why would you be doing it? You'll probably do it badly, and there's probably somebody else who would love to do that and would do it far better. Hey Tracy, good to see you online too, and I'm on my personal page this morning. And I'll get over to Darkwood Brew afterwards and Countryside's page, but it's good to be joined with you this morning. So that's the thing. Don't ask what Jesus would do, although do ask, is the thing I'm feeling called to do something I can see Jesus doing, wanting, that kind of thing. It is critically important that it's not just simply about whatever our whim or arbitrary desire is, but rather is it in alignment with God's will. And if it is aligned with God's will, we can trust that it is definitely in alignment with our deepest soul needs. So, hey Megan, hello back to you. So that's yeah, that's about all I have to say about that issue. For those of you who are not in Omaha, talking about following a sense of call, most of us left the office yesterday for the last time in our old location. Now today I can say old location, and we will be entering for the first time our new location on the Tri-Faith Commons. And it was quite a it was quite moving yesterday to kind of walk through this building that has been packed up and much of it empty now, and just kind of remember all the things that happened in those rooms for me over the last 11 years, and which is probably the equivalent of about 40 or 50 years if you're a layperson coming to the church in terms of time spent in that place. So it's as excited as I am to go. It was like, wow, there's been a lot of history here, but we're deeply excited about following this call that our congregation has decided is we have the lasting power to fulfill. And so we would not be following our call to the Tri-Faith unless we found it personally gratifying, and we had therefore the energy to go through, because there'll be a lot of tough things that come up if it's a true path. So anyway, exciting times, exciting day. The staff will be blessing every room in the body. Good, that's an interesting slip. Blessing every room in the building today at noon. So let's take that up, down. If you're new to this, I'll give instructions, but it'll be 20 minutes, following a similar format throughout Lent. Hey, Becky. And I'll give instructions every 5, and use this crystal singing bowl here to kind of help take us in. At some point, you may hear me do this with it, and that just kind of helps sometimes focus the thoughts, focus the energy, that kind of thing. All right. And I'm using the Insight Timer. It's a free app on the internet. If you haven't gotten it, I recommend it. It's great for setting times for meditation. And let's together take a deep breath in, let it out slowly. And so doing, clear away all that internal baggage right now, all the distractions, the worries. Let's give thanks for those who are joining us live online together, because we all have our consciousness focused in the same direction at the same time, and therefore are entangled with one another in ways that we don't entirely understand, but tends to help in meditation. And let's consider the last 24 hours of our lives now, looking especially for signs of love, where people have reached out in love to you, or where you've reached out in love to others. And those less direct signs, like the gifts that the day brings, and creation itself. I invite you to open yourself a bit more fully to the presence of the holy that surrounds you and is within you at all times. Bow more deeply to it. Consider someone who you care about who's struggling right now. See if you can locate their struggles inside of you and welcome in the holiness, the healing, the vitality into you first. And only when you can sense that vitality, that peace, that presence a bit, and are perfectly calm and peaceful, then call to mind this person who's struggling or whom you're struggling with. And let that peace, that vitality be transferred or sent or linked into them. as the spell fades, set this person aside to the back of your consciousness and bring your own needs forward today. Perhaps focus on just today. You don't have to focus on something else, but what is your need? What do you need most today to happen or to find, to discover, or you would consistently go back and stay connected with God to try to explore? How would you like this day to end? What will you do throughout the day to work towards that end in partnership with Spirit? And I'm going to invite you to do something a little different today. Simply envision yourself bowed fully like we normally do. I envision myself open enough that I'm lying prostrate before my Creator, one who loves me more than I love me, one who believes in me more than I believe in me. Let's take that need you just identified take it to this most holy place. Surrender this particular need you've identified to most fully to the holy. And let the holy guide the conversation. Let the holy bring images to your mind without your trying to manipulate, without trying to discern where they're taking you. Just let them come. As this meditation comes to an end, I invite you to envision yourself at the end of today in a happy place, in some place where you've gained some sort of ground. What does that look like? What does that feel like? Can you connect now where you are to that time and let it that connection stay with you today. As the bell fades, I invite you to, if you have extra time, stay in this place. And if you're moving on, then we're finishing up here. But thank you for coming. And just a note that I will be creating a survey shortly and sending that out. Hope you'll record some of your experiences and help me judge what to do in the future. Till then, have a blessed day and look forward to seeing you again soon.